Dance Drill Team Assessments and Competitions, often shortened to DTAC, is an evolving and important project by Texas Dance Educators Association. This overview gives participating directors and future adjudicators a look at the process for event participation and preparation. The DTAC process is an exciting and new approach to Texas dance assessments, created by dance educators and always with our students' growth and success in mind. Hey directors, welcome. This is your quick guide to the Dance and Drill Team Assessment. In this opening section, we'll walk through the basics: who performs, how the event works, how the score sheet is structured, and how ratings are calculated. Let's start with the big picture. Each campus has one performance per event. The assessment is designed for the varsity level performing group, with a fall outdoor venue and a spring indoor venue. The performance is adjudicated and rated in a way that feels similar to UIL music events. So the goal is not just a score. The goal is meaningful feedback that directors and dancers can use. Before the event, directors complete registration, submit fees, and watch for email communication about location, schedule, parking, and spectator fees. Music is submitted digitally in advance, so the event team has everything ready before performance day. During the performance, 3 adjudicators assess the group. They create verbal critiques, including real-time comments and an extended recap. After the event, directors receive the numerical scores and verbal critiques. Now let's look at the score sheet. The assessment is built on 100 total points. There are 3 captions worth 30 points each, plus 1 caption worth 10 points. That structure helps separate the major areas of performance while still giving a complete picture of the routine. Each judge's numerical score is then translated into a rating. A score from 90 to 100 becomes a rating 1. A score from 80 to 89 becomes a rating 2. And a score from 70 to 79 becomes a rating 3. So if the ratings are 1, 1, and 2, the overall rating is 1. If they are 2, 2, and 1, the overall rating is 2. And if the 3 judges are split across 1, 2, and 3, the middle rating becomes the final rating, which would be 2. So the big takeaway is this: the process is structured, consistent, and designed to give directors clear information they can actually use. Next, we'll look at the verbal critiques and how adjudicators are trained to make those comments useful. We're going to look at one of the most valuable parts of the Dance and Drill Team assessment: the verbal critique. This is where directors can hear what the adjudicators noticed, what stood out, and what can be strengthened moving forward. There are 2 parts. First, adjudicators give real-time feedback while the group is performing. This captures what they are seeing in the moment. Second, directors receive a recap. The recap is a caption-by-caption summary that walks through the performance after the fact. So instead of leaving with only a number, directors leave with information they can take back into rehearsal. Training for our adjudicators emphasizes giving commentary that serves several purposes. Feedback should be technically sound and stylistically accurate. It should also be concise, educational, and descriptive. Directors should not have to guess what the comment means or how to apply it. And just as important, the feedback should be attentive, enthusiastic, and encouraging. Dancers should feel seen while still being challenged to grow. The goal is not surface-level praise. The goal is thoughtful, useful feedback that helps the program move forward. It is also important to know that adjudicators do not walk into this process unprepared. They participate in caption-specific training, scoring exercises, panel-specific meetings, and live training opportunities with mentors. The goal is consistency. They are learning the rubric, practicing the language, and building a shared understanding of what each caption is asking them to evaluate. Panel selection is also intentional. Panels are designed to represent a range of geographic areas, diverse experiences, and current directors. That matters because the assessment is strongest when the feedback reflects both expertise and a current understanding of what is happening in dance and drill team programs today. The verbal critique is not just a recording, it is a resource. When directors listen for the patterns, the repeated vocabulary, and the caption-specific feedback, the critique becomes a tool for planning future rehearsals and clarifying priorities for program development. Next, we'll look at how the rubric itself was developed and why the language matters. Let's look at the way the rubric has been developed and how it is evolving at each step of the piloting process. The rubric and score sheet were developed by Texas Dance Educators for Texas Dance Educators. Over 40 different educators from a variety of backgrounds from across the state, spanning decades in the Texas dance education community, contributed to the initial development of the rubric. The rubric is purposely utilizing T-test language so that we can effectively communicate with campus and district level administrators. We want to translate those words from the T-test language into meaningful commentary that we can use to assess, evaluate, and critique dance performances. Take a moment to glance at this document. It is very detailed, and it could be quite overwhelming. Take a few moments to actually look at the depth and breadth of information that is included in this document, especially when you realize that for every indicator across every caption, a page like this has been developed. Start by thinking about the structure of each page. The levels of achievement are described and defined. First, let's zoom into two different areas that are distinctive on the rubric. These are quantifiers that help define and differentiate levels of achievement. Distinguished always starts with a perfect or near perfect score, and then the rubric drifts towards improvement needed for those groups who might be struggling. These quantifiers that help distinguish between levels have 2 points of view that feed into the overall critique. At the top is the percentage of performers who are exhibiting the skill. Each adjudicator considers how many members of the ensemble consistently perform at that level. Look at these keywords and phrases. All performers exhibit, a majority of performers exhibit, some of the performers exhibit, which is at our proficient or middle level, few performers exhibit, or finally, most or all performers struggle to exhibit. At the bottom of each indicator page, you'll find keywords that speak to the duration of the performance from count 1 to the final pose. These include keywords like exhibited for all of the dance, the majority, some of the dance, very few moments in the dance, or finally, for the majority of the dance, the dancers seem to be struggling to demonstrate. The rubric was developed with descriptions and expectations for the different levels of achievement for each indicator. Diving into one of the most important parts of the rubric, let's investigate how levels of achievement are described. How does one indicator get broken down across the levels? We're using originality as our example so you can clearly see how the rubric describes and defines characteristics for this indicator example. Here's the official definition of originality from the choreography caption. Originality speaks to the innovative and unique choices made in a piece of choreography. It can include unique combinations of movement or skills, creative use of formations or space, novel musical choices, or unusual and distinctive manipulatives or visual effects employed during a performance. As we go through the levels, think about routines you've seen or coached that match each description. The big question we'll answer is, how is the achievement level determined across the segments of the rubric? At the highest level, distinguished, the choreography is truly exceptional. The routine features skills and movement prescribed in unsuspected and unique ways, leaving a memorable impact on the audience. Elements that enhance originality include unique song selection, unique use of manipulatives, staging, or visual effects. A distinguished routine can be described as never-before-seen choreography that is groundbreaking. Accomplished. The choreography demonstrates innovation in movement patterns and skills. Manipulatives are used in creative methods, and unique visual effects are accomplished within the performance. A high degree of thoughtfulness is evident throughout the routine. Performances that achieve an accomplished level of originality may be described as interesting or clever. Proficient. The performance includes moments that spotlight original content, artistic expression, and movement patterns. Visual effects are pleasing and well-matched to song choice. Developing. The choreography lacks innovation, as the movement phrases seem predictable and generic. Skills are combined in typical patterns, and musicality is not fully explored. Improvement needed. The performance displays a complete absence of originality, as it includes elements that have been previously performed by other groups. Movement is neither combined nor staged in ways that seem unique. The next level of rubric analysis includes a close-up look at each caption by providing examples of actual indicators.
Let's take a look at examples of indicators from each caption of the rubric. We will utilize slides from the in-depth training videos as guides. This section introduces indicator examples drawn from the choreography caption. These examples help define what judges look for when assessing the creative design and staging of a routine. Choreography is worth 30 points and includes both content and concept, as well as staging. Judges evaluate musicality, visual effect, phrasing, degree of difficulty, originality, use of manipulatives when present, use of space, and use of performers. Judges consider whether those elements are woven into the routine seamlessly, consistently, and creatively. Use of space and staging focuses on how directors create shapes on the field while supporting performer safety and spatial awareness. Judges consider the use of visual markers such as yard lines, hash lines, circles, and district logos to evaluate effective space design. During spring indoor assessments, gym floor markings are used in the same way. Use of performers is about balance, thoughtfulness, and intentionality in the choreographic process. Judges want choreography that showcases the strengths of all performers, not only those featured in the front and center. Use of manipulatives refers to how props, materials, backgrounds, or other extensions of the dancer are employed within the choreography. Degree of difficulty refers to the appropriate choreographic demand placed on performers through technical skill, stamina and strength, musicality, intricacy of movement patterns, and phrasing. The goal is difficulty that is both successful and safe in performance. Originality is also an indicator for this caption, and it is discussed in depth in another part of this overview video. This section introduces examples from the technique caption. These indicators focus on the fundamental judges are trained to observe in performance. Judges evaluate posture, core utilization, arm carriage, footwork, articulation, weight transfer, use of plie, quality of movement, flexibility, leaps, turns, and use of manipulatives. Balance and coordination, footwork, and spatial awareness. All movement fundamentals remain essential regardless of style. In summary, adjudicators strive to assess commonalities of movement fundamentals across all genres presented. The execution and precision caption focuses on how accurately and consistently performers carry out choreography. This caption helps judges assess clarity, control, timing, and uniformity throughout the performance. We will take a look at just one indicator from this caption. Every indicator is described in the rubric into observable details judges can identify. Execution and precision indicators include body angles, focus, arm and leg shaping, pathways, initiation and completion of movement, timing with music and with other dancers. Judges evaluate dancers and the group for consistency of form and orientation, stylistic consistency, and uniformity in the use of manipulatives when applicable. This is an example of one slide in the full training video for this caption. It shows both components from the rubric and helpful hints for judges to consider when in an active assessment. Performance achievement is worth 10 points and includes venue-appropriate presence, projection, dynamics and quality of movement, endurance, and the overall evaluation of the performance. Judges also consider production elements, costuming and props, presentation design, visual interest, and ensemble effort. The following examples are taken directly from the in-depth training session. You'll notice the specific educators who contributed to this section of the rubric are noted on the slides. Let's look at indicator examples. These examples show what judges are trained to notice in performer presence, emotional communication, energy, and overall production impact. This caption has been continuously refined by adjudication panels and training sessions. Venue-appropriate presence means performers maintain lifted carriage, confident posture, and visible clarity in body lines across the full space. Movement should read effectively for the audience from either side of the venue. Projection is defined as authentic and dynamic emotion communicated through facial expression and body language. Judges are looking for performers who clearly project intent and emotional connection to the audience. Dynamics and quality of movement refer to the use of different ranges of energy to perform movement with intention. This adds contrast, texture, and expressive dimension to the performance. Endurance is demonstrated through the consistent application of energy and effort throughout the full performance. Judges are looking for performers who sustain commitment, stamina, and quality from beginning to end. This final performance achievement element considers the overall visual and production effect of the routine. Judges evaluate how production elements, costuming and props, presentation design, visual interest, and ensemble effort come together in one complete performance. This concludes our caption-by-caption look at indicator examples from the rubric.
The DTAC process is an exciting and new approach to Texas dance assessments. Created by dance educators for dance educators and designed with our students' growth and success in mind. It offers a glimpse into the work that has been done to develop the assessment rubric and the training of judges. Each segment of this video represents a much more extensive collection of resources that are available.